I've been working with homeless people in New York, and this is called Holy Days. On Christmas at my homeless outreach job, I was thinking about freedom. Some presidents think that it doesn't come from the state, but is a gift from God. And they seem to believe God tells them that cities should be destroyed in order to free them. I was plugging in the blinking Christmas lights when people started streaming in and out like a holiday dream. Joseph sits down by the fake tree for another day of mandatory waiting for his promised apartment. Even rats have nests, he says, and asks me whether I think his smooth superheroes, Spider-Man and the Hobbits, ever wandered city streets looking for an open shelter bed. Carla tells me she gives her worries over to God while waiting for her Section 8 to arrive. What does God do with your worries, I ask. She's going to worry about that and let me know. But with Carla's inventive ideas, we find extra shelter spaces for Christmas. Marty says the cops framed him, planted coke in his pocket. He got 5 years for that first bust. Now, with the record, he can't find a job nor room to rent. He's angry at Bloomberg and the whole shelter system and has only been able to eat oatmeal the last 2 weeks. Under Bush, he thinks people are losing their rights. Look at Guantanamo, he says. Fucking torture, and the FBI using the Patriot Act to look up what you're reading in the library. Some people tell him because he was framed, he's become paranoid. Do you think you're being paranoid? I ask him. He grabs a piece of Scotch tape, puts it in my hand, puts it on my hand, and says, "You're being taped." This poem is called Faders, and it's a forestry term for pine beetle-infested pine trees. And they fade, the pine trees fade from green to a dull red. And it's also common in the western U.S. And I wrote this for Anna Politskaya. She's the Russian journalist that was murdered a few years ago. Faders for Anna Politskaya. What fades? Evergreens, survivors of chain-linked generations of logging, now a cemetery of vertical bones, with marrow devoured by defrosted mobs of mountain beetles. Dry pine trees, fragile, faded red, like splattered blood of hunted journalists, marked in blinding daylight of corruption and wars. The paper dollar skin of a million carved trees changes hands to kill or save a forest, to pay the salary of a determined investigative reporter, or to complete the handshake of a prearranged hit. When the deal is done, baked winds blow tender needles into the world's circular currents, where the sad news is read by ever-globalizing children, scavenging through trashed newspapers. This is the hazardous graveyard, dumped skeletons of trees and journalists, the unpredictable resting place from which a thoughtful spark has potential, in spite of death, to melt and release 1,000 tender seedlings.